Something strange is happening inside billion-dollar companies.
And almost no one is talking about it. It's not just that AI is replacing decisions anymore. That already happened. What's happening now is far more aggressive. Because behind the scenes, companies are fighting a silent war. Not for users, not for products, but for something far more valuable: data. And the companies that win this war won't just dominate industries. They'll control how decisions are made, how markets move, and even how reality is shaped. But here's the unsettling part. You're already inside this system. A few years ago, companies competed on products. Better phones, faster apps, lower prices. Simple. But that model is collapsing. Today, the real competition isn't visible on the surface. It's happening underneath, inside systems you never see. Because AI doesn't run on ideas. It runs on data. And the more data a company has, the smarter its AI becomes. But here's where it gets interesting. Not all data is equal. Some data tells companies what you click. But the most valuable data tells companies why you clicked. And that difference is worth billions. Because once a company understands why people behave a certain way, they don't just predict decisions anymore. They start influencing them. This is where the shift happens. We're no longer in a product economy. We're in a data extraction economy. Every scroll, every pause, every hesitation, it's all being collected, refined, and turned into intelligence. But here's what most people don't realize. The biggest companies aren't just collecting data anymore. They're fighting for it. This is where the AI data war begins. And unlike traditional wars, you won't see explosions. You'll see acquisitions, partnerships, platform expansions. Because companies realized something critical. If you control the platform, you control the data. And if you control the data, you control the intelligence. They're building ecosystems. Messaging apps. Payment systems. Content platforms. Work tools. At first glance, they seem unrelated. But underneath, they're all feeding into one thing. A centralized intelligence system. But here's where things take a darker turn. Because collecting data is only step one. The real power comes from training AI on that data. And once AI is trained, it starts making decisions. At first, small ones. What content to show you? What ads to display? But over time, those decisions expand. Pricing, hiring, investments, and eventually, strategic company decisions. But there's a problem. AI doesn't think like humans. It optimizes. It optimizes. And optimization can be dangerous. Because AI doesn't care about emotions or ethics or long-term consequences. It cares about outcomes. And if the goal is profit, it will find the fastest path, even if humans don't fully understand that path. This creates a strange situation. Companies are now relying on systems they don't completely control. And yet, they're doubling down. Because the alternative is worse. If one company slows down, another moves faster. This is no longer competition. This is escalation. But this is only one layer of the system. Because if companies are fighting to control data, there's a deeper question. What if they're also shaping how you think? Not just what you see, but how you interpret it. That's exactly what we break down next. Why you think what you think, and how companies shape it. Watch it carefully, because once you see the system, you can't unsee it.